at one point I was pretty hated. Like I still am. There's a lot of videos of me that will come up on my For You page. Who do you hate the most on TikTok creator wise? And it was all these huge creators doing very good. Like they're very successful, but everyone was tearing them down. But I always say this, if you have love and hate, you're chilling. There was a second where my comments were purely just hate comments, but that's when my following jumped so quickly.
So controversy encourages engagement.
Creative disruption.
Hello and welcome to Creative Disruption. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited today. We have Colie Nuanez who's joining us, who's a TikTok star and has done such amazing things when it comes to creating on TikTok as well as other platforms like YouTube. And, she's been able to demonstrate consistency as well as, she's very data driven. So I'm really excited to have you, Colie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited when my manager got me this. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do it so bad. That just sounds like a blast. I love talking about analytics and anything that has to do with the business side of TikTok and YouTube and all that. So I'm so hyped.
You've worked with our team in the past, and they've talked about how you're very data savvy and that very data driven. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to geek out quite a bit.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Well,
I get so excited talking about this stuff. So, and I know you do too. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. So Colie, like, how did you start out? When did you start creating? And tell us a little bit about your story of where it all began.
Yes. So I started on TikTok. This was right in the beginning of COVID, I believe, and TikTok was kind of new. It just transitioned to TikTok from Musical.ly. And I was in high school. I want to say I was 17 and a half when I first started, maybe freshly 18. And everyone
what year is this again?
Europe when COVID first started.
So that's 2020. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, 2020. Thank you. Okay. I don't even know what year it is now, but yes, yeah. So I started then, and it was kind of just out of the blue. I grew up always doing pageants, so I did a lot of pageantry. I did a lot of dance competitions. I loved writing little books. And as a child, my dream was to be a movie director or an actress, something along that. I never wanted to do school, though. I was homeschooled. I hated school. I was good at it, but I did not want anything to do with it. I was like, college is not, I can't do that. So I was like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to do. So that was always in the back of my mind. So it worked out great. But I kind of just started doing POV acting videos. So POV acting videos, if you're familiar with them, it's kind of like, POV, this horror film or this is the emotion kind of acting out a video on TikTok in a short form content. And I was obsessed with them. I remember I did about 3, and this was right when they were kind of prime time. Mm-hmm. And I had so much fun, and they were kind of, I did the horror one. So I would make up little horror skits. I had this really fun series called Where's John? And he was kind of like my stalker, and everyone got a kick out of it. I thought it was a blast. And then I entered senior year of high school, and I know a lot of other creators had this issue, but I got bullied so hard for it. Everyone was giving me crap and everything, and I was like, oh, but I wanted to do it. So I was like, you know what? I remember this summer, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ignore everyone and just go for it. So I posted about 3 TikToks a day, 6 in the shorts. And behind all of that, I was writing the scripts, I had my friends in them. So it was very almost like a little production team behind these acting videos. And then they just started to do really good. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. So I just kept rolling them out. And I started to kind of think about it deeper. And, I would kind of give my friends' perspective on it and be like, oh, do you like this? Do you think it's cool? And it just kind of went well right there. And then I think I did that for about 7 months. And then I was like, I kind of want to do this as a job, but I don't want to just do POV acting videos. There has to be more to this. And I was really into Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Brent Rivera. All of those people were epic. And I was like, oh, I want to be like them. But as you know, once you start a TikTok account, you have a niche. And the following wants the niche. And it's kind of like, I like to think of it as like a TV channel. You know, there's tons of channels. And, you know, you watch Disney for Disney content. You watch the cooking channel for cooking content. And I was like, how am I going to change my niche now that I've created this whole acting niche? And I think I hit around like 500,000 followers. So, you know, it was, and my views were very good at this point. So I was like, how am I going to switch this? And then I kind of really got into depth into it. And I kind of, I brought my parents along and I was like, I need to treat this like it's a business, you know, like I'm a CEO of my business for this to actually become my job. So I, you know, sat down and I kind of created a plan on how I was going to change my niche. And it was kind of crazy, my plan. So I'd say my niche is my personality, kind of my comedic side, really loud and crazy. Think like kind of like JoJo Siwa, you know, you never want to blink when she's on the screen. Like you're going to miss something.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, you know what? How am I going to be able to do my acting videos and still have that audience, but want them to watch maybe prank videos or fashion videos or makeup videos? And I was like, okay. So I kind of dig deeper into that. And I kind of noticed that something that all the other creators had was a certain personality trait or niche. You know, maybe they're super loud, maybe they're super crazy. And I think that's one thing that a lot of creators don't really dive deeper into, because then it opens so many doors. Like for my YouTube, I make sure it's mostly for younger children. My Instagram is a lot of older, you know, adults, some teenagers. And then my TikTok is all teenage girls. So there's so many niches, you know, I was kind of doing, and I just kind of needed to, you know, really put it right so it would work, you know. And I noticed that, you know, the personality trait, so I really just winged that out hardcore. So I would make like crazy dance videos where my parents would, you know, react in a crazy way, or maybe I got grounded and that the people who liked my acting videos liked that. They were like, oh my gosh, this is the same entertainment. She's still going crazy. Maybe my dad pranks me and I'm crying. You know, in my acting videos, I would cry a bunch. There I am crying about that. It's just stuff that they were already familiar with from my TikTok. Switching niches wasn't as hard if I just did it in a nice, you know, original way and still catering to that POV niche here and there. So that was kind of how I started with TikTok. It was a lot of falling back, but jumping right back up. You know, it was a lot of, you know, 1 week was amazing views. The other week was terrible because I wasn't doing, you know, this certain video. So it was a lot of up and down and up and down. And now
how many followers do you have? So that you started testing and evolving at 500,000. Yes. Where are you at now?
I'm at 8 million now.
That's amazing. And just a couple of years, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a crazy. And I think the jump where I went from 1 million to 8 million is when I moved to LA. So when I was in Florida doing all that content, I was like, I wasn't focused. I say, if you're going to do something, give it 100 or don't even do it at all. So I was like, I can't live here in Florida. You know, I was hanging out with my friends, partying here and there. You know, I was a teenager. So I was like, you know what? I turned 18. I was like, okay, I'm packing up. I'm out of here. I moved to LA and I was living, when I first moved to LA, it was a little psycho. It was, you know, living in random houses. I was couch jumping. But during all of this, I was still filming 24/7.
Yeah. So was moving to LA beneficial from the connections and like collaborating with other creators? Or did it really just get you out of your environment to be able to be 100% focused on this as a career?
So I thought it was going to be, if I move out there, I'm going to be creating and collabing with so many creators, right? But it wasn't that. I mean, that does have a part in it, but it was definitely that I'm now in California alone. I have no idea what I'm doing. The game is on, you know, like I cannot mess this up, you know, and I'm very hard on myself. So I take everything very personal. And when it comes to work, I was like, oh my gosh, like I now have to do it, you know. So it was a lot of that. And I did a lot of collabing, but I think we can get into that later. But I was very big into, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. So the first 2 weeks, it was just a lot of nonsense, to be honest. It was, 2 weeks in LA, hanging out, seeing what's going on. And then I was like, okay, did I come out to LA to hang out and, just be in that world, or actually grab it and do it? So I was like, okay, I guess I'll do that. So for that first year in LA, I probably hung out with like 4 people, went to 2 parties, and just worked my booty off. And I remember at the time I was dating my ex, and he also does such good at content. So we would both wake up in the morning and film from like 8 to like 9 at night. And I had a videographer at this time, a really great one. And yeah, it was just some of the times I didn't even know what I was filming, but I knew like if I got up and filmed something, whatever, it's gonna be beneficial at the end. So the first couple of months were, a lot of that. And then I started to think, you know what? Maybe I can, write some content out. My TikTok content, it's so hard to explain because if you look at it, I was looking at it this morning and I was like, I really don't have a niche. Like I'm on here doing cooking videos. I'm pranking. I do a lot of skits, a lot of comedy. Sometimes I just cry on TikTok.
Wow.
And,
so there's a lot of different things that you test and you experiment with. What's the threshold to know if it's been accepted by your audience?
Right.
That you know that you want to optimize and like do it again.
Yeah. So I think for me, what it was is the comment section I really loved, because I wasn't really, I didn't have many friends when I first moved out here, and my circle is really small. So I kind of like my comment section to be like where everyone's coming together and hang out. So I would ask a lot, be like, do you guys like this? Do you guys not like this? And my audience is really brutal. Like, they are brutal. They will be honest. They'll be like, this video was terrible. Please don't ever do it again. Like, yeah. But I kind of love it.
Engage with your audience in the comments to basically do like research, whether they like it or not.
Exactly. Yes. Engagement.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. Engagement is key. If you want a following that's, I don't want to say like cult-like, but where they're going to come back and they want to watch your video again and they want to know what's going to happen or maybe what she's doing now, you really do need to look into the comments. And like, I would be up all night and just like, really, and I would even go as deep to go through my following, see who they follow. And I would do that a lot. And there's 8 million people following me. Yeah. So I would be like, this would be me up all night, just going like stalking my followers, I like to say. And I would go live and be like, do you guys like this content? Do you guys not? And even if they didn't like it, I would keep pushing it because I liked it. And then at one point I would find that audience who liked that too. Mm-hmm. But I would also be like, you know what? I won't post that if you don't like that.
Well, hey, so how did you look at your following? Like, and then what type of like data would you retract from that?
I would honestly so let's say, this video of me doing a prank on my friend blew up. I'd be like, okay, they liked that. So I would go through the comments, and the top comment, I don't know why it would just stick out. I would look at their comment, and if it had something to do with the video, and everyone was kind of, connecting with it. So I already saw like there was a conversation going on in my almost like debates. I always there's debates going on and stuff. So I would click the user and whoever got the most likes and comments or whatever, because it seemed like a lot of people agreed. And I would go to their following and literally just click random creators they followed. And I started to see a pattern. I started to see, wow, a lot of these followers that, this group of followers I was looking at from this video really loved Brent Rivera. Or this following really loved Trisha Paytas. And then I would kind of go into their content and see how I could swizzle around and be like, I could do something like that in my own way. And then kind of serve that.
Wow, that's so interesting. So, that's very interesting to see, like, how deep you'd go just based on people commenting on your video. And, it kind of strikes a chord with me. One thing that we're realizing from a data perspective is that way too long have we like put people in geographic areas or in a demographic, box where we think, you need to target men 16 to 30. This is exactly how you contact them or connect with them. But one thing that we've learned, especially like leveraging AI, and we're actually have a beta right now with our TubeBuddy, which I'll we'll have to get you access to this because you've been doing this manually.
Yeah, I have.
This isn't saying that you actually got insights that actually were very helpful.
Yes, it's kind of like the YouTube analytics.
Yeah.
I made my own YouTube analytics on TikTok by just stalking. And I wish TikTok had analytics like YouTube.
Well, as you know, you're looking at the unstructured data. You're looking at the actual content. You're looking at the actual visuals, who you're talking to, et cetera. And so we have something that we call the clustering analysis, where we basically make all these different social analyze all these different social neighborhoods based on interests. And what we realize is that, let's say a woman that's like 20 years old in LA, let's say she's on a street with three other 20-year-old women, most likely she's going to have other people in different countries, different cultures, different environments that have more in common with her interests than she will with those other two people that live on the same street or from the same area. And so it seems like you've been kind of navigating, trying to look at these clusters of humans and figuring out what are they interested in, who they follow. And so this tool that we've been creating actually helps understand which creators have audience overlap with what you do, but also going a level deeper and figuring out who are the audience clusters and what are other content and other topics that they're interested in. Not just anime, but what type of anime. And and so I want to make sure we get you access to this because I bet you're going to geek out and give a lot of feedback.
I would freak out. That's all I would be doing on my weekdays, my weekends, please. I need that.
We will so we'll do the exercise, and I'll connect you to the right people, because this is something we've always done with brands, but it's something that we want to be doing with creators at scale. And so we're going to be having this as a tool on TubeBuddy soon.
Yeah,
but it's very validating that we know. That knowing that there's people that actually do this manually, I had no idea.
And a lot of my friends, they kind of question this as well. Oh, how do you figure out what your audience would want and stuff? And I kind of taught them, and now they do it. So yeah, it's definitely something the creators, hopefully, but I know a lot of my friends do want to know more in depth into the audience.
Wow, no, that's awesome. So what are other data points that help you, being successful in growing your audience and viewership?
I say, okay, so how I envision my TikTok is kind of whatever I feel like I want to do. It might work, it might not, but and I know it so well just from all this time doing it. Now YouTube is for the dogs. If a creator can go from TikTok to YouTube, and nowadays, just because it's so big and been around for so long, you're epic. You're going to be doing it. You're going to be making it. In 10 years, you have a solid channel that's going to be grinding your bank account. So my YouTube strategy is a lot different. It's all in advanced mode of YouTube analytics. On the analytics screen, you can go advanced mode. I'm in advanced mode all the time. The stalking on that side is a whole other story. I will be looking at my viewers, their cities they live in, the exact time they, go on their computer. I look at the other channels they look at. I just love YouTube analytics. But for TikTok, it is a lot of, I guess you want to say, stalking the followers, kind of looking at who they like, what they're interested in. And then a lot of it, for me, I plan a lot of my content. So maybe a week ahead, I already know what I'm going to be filming next week on TikTok and YouTube, because I plan it so strategically. And I have my sister help out. I have my mom help out. I go through the ideas 5 times before I actually post it. Or sometimes I'll just be you know what? I'm just going to post it. It's very all over the place.
Do you ever repurpose your TikTok content to be on Shorts or on Reels?
Yes. So my Shorts are a lot of skit type videos. And I've been studying the Shorts algorithm too, which is Shorts is so good for new creators because, a lot of the reason why they don't want to start YouTube is because it takes too long to start up, or, it's a lot of work, or it doesn't work. but it does work. And with shorts, it's just opening a door to, for new creators to, blow up on YouTube. But the issue is, at one point they're going to face is my short content relatable, and is it going to bring the view duration same as my long form content, So that's a whole other thing I've been looking into. But yes, I do post my TikToks on shorts. Now I'm doing, I like to call it mini YouTube videos, which a lot of creators like Jeremy Hutchins, Britton Rivera have started. And it's like very brand new, I feel like. But it's like a mini YouTube video and you post it on shorts. So if your content is cooking, you're posting a mini cooking video with like the beginning and the ending. So for me, since I do challenges, I'm doing like, all right, today's challenge is I'm going on a date. I hope I don't mess it up. I go on the date. I spill coffee all over myself. My date's mad, leaves me. Somehow I run into like another prank, and there's just like a beginning to an end. And it's like a mini YouTube video for a short. So that's kind of a secret I think all creators should do.
Do you think that'd work with a podcast if I start experimenting with that next week?
Yeah, no, I think it, yeah. Oh, for sure. Yes. Kind of like the beginning of the podcast, you're like, okay, so today I'm with Colie. We're going to talk about the strategy, us talking about the strategy. And then what did we get out of it? Like how are the other creators going to, use this podcast and get knowledge from it to make their own strategy, stuff like that. That would work.
Awesome. Wow. And so basically what I'm getting from all this is that TikTok is just an ongoing testing ground where you're.
Yeah. TikTok's always, the algorithm's always changing. The videos are always changing. Someone's going to be into something new. There's a new trend like every day. It's kind of more chaotic. It's kind of more, you can kind of do it without having to strategically plan every single thing. On YouTube, it's more of like let's plan everything. Let's look into analytics if you want it to do perfect, if you want the videos to blow up, because they can do good if you have consistency. And if you're like looking at that analytic like it's your best friend, if you're obsessed.
Okay. No, that's so TikTok is about figuring out how to follow what the algorithm's doing today. YouTube, it's being consistent and, truly, being as programmatic as possible and growing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I like to look at it.
No, that's very helpful. Are there creators, and you don't have to list names, but are there creators that have the audience that you have that are not successful in taking their audience to YouTube? Because it seems like
yes. Oh my gosh. And I wish I knew them. I wish I knew them and I could just tell them or kind of help them and be like, look at your analytics. Like, if you see your TikTok to this, like, it's so doable. You would be making so much more money. It gets me mad. Yeah, no, there's so many. I'm not going to name drop, but.
Okay, I was like, if you want a reference, that'd be very interesting. But so there are a lot of TikTokers that have millions of followers that just can't migrate their audience to YouTube because they're not evolving to YouTube.
Yeah. And they kind of start doing it. I've seen a lot of them like start doing it. And they start it and they have it going and then they're like, it's not doing good. After like 5 videos, I noticed, and the videos get good views, but it's not how your TikTok videos go. It's a whole other algorithm, whole other world, YouTube. So they kind of just start to give up. And that's where it's like, you can't do that because with YouTube, it's consistency. There are a couple creators I know that it took them like 10 years on YouTube to get a solid like million views on a video. And then from there, it was consistent. It does happen. It's just,
I think that's similar to what happened with like Jimmy or Mr. Beast. It took a while for him to build up and get there. And
and look at him now. But there are a lot. And like this one girl, Alexis, I forgot, but she's huge on TikTok right now. And she has a cult following. And she does a bunch of college content. And she is, I'm going to pull up right now just so I can shut her out because she's epic. But she could make amazing content on YouTube. And all of her followers on TikTok would like go to it in 2 seconds. I think she just posted her first YouTube video and it did so good. Now, if she keeps doing that like twice a week and like really goes at it, oh, she's like, it's done for her, you know? And there's so many creators that have that cult like following, like Charlie D'Amelio, like she has such a good following. Like they are always there at that second. And her YouTube, I was looking at it, it's so good. But personally, I think she could like go even bigger, you know? And yeah, I really don't know why it's so scary. It is scary, but it's just consistency.
You should start a business advising these creators migrating from TikTok to YouTube. It seems like this is something that's very consistent. You know, whether it's Musically or Vine, there's always been a migration of these creators going over. And you talked about the Paul brothers and Brent Rivera. I remember working with all of them when they're just young on Vine, and then we called it the Vine Invasion back in the day. When it shifted over, and out of nowhere, these Vine stars just started killing it and got way bigger than a lot of the YouTube native creators.
Yeah.
And many of which, looked up to those YouTube creators beforehand, learned from them, got a rise on Vine, and then we were able to, pull it over.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also the way you post about it is important. I noticed that, I tried a whole bunch of different ways. At one point, I was like giving away like money. I was going to be like, I'm going to give away $1,000 to the 105th subscriber. And I was doing that for a second. I wanted to try every single little way. So I tried that. It didn't work. And then the second tactic I tried was simply just posting a clip from the YouTube video. But, it kind of comes outside and it's always a little janky. So that worked. But my sweet spot is while I'm filming a YouTube video, I will have someone else record the important parts of the YouTube video. And then I make it into a mini TikTok, like the mini YouTube video for shorts. And then I post that and say, oh, the rest of the video is link in bio. And that has really worked. But, there's so many.
Follow you.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's like, you're just watching a normal TikTok, but all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, where's the rest of the video? Oh, it's on YouTube. And it's exactly how it would be on TikTok. And it's great quality because it's on my camera. It's just, all those extra steps, but they always count.
Where do you just, from your background on TikTok and now, you're building up, these other social followings, currently, and you don't have to give me a number, where do you make more money, from the long form YouTube videos or the shorts? I was
getting shorts bonuses. And for a second, my shorts were A-okay. They were good. We were doing so good. And the shorts bonuses were big. Like, it was a good amount of money. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, this is so good. This has good potential. So that was good. But, it's very sporadic. There would be months where it'd be like nothing. And then it'd be a month of a lot. And then it'd be a month of nothing. So, but now the shorts bonuses, I think, are over. But now the shorts monetization is on, and I'm not, so happy about it. But, the shorts monetization is pretty good. It is pretty good. But I would like to say my long form content for sure. It takes a lot longer to get that check. I'd like to say just because, I'm not hitting millions of views on my long form right now. I'm not hitting 300,000 views, stuff like that. It takes time, and I'm totally okay with that. But once the months add up, long form for sure. And TikTok, I do brand deals and stuff like that. So my TikTok is really good for income. But it's all very, sporadic. I don't want to look like a walking ad or anything. So right. I'm very like, I'm like, let's do that. Let's not do that. It's definitely long form. Later on, like I like to say with any TikToker who has a TikTok career, I'm like, get on YouTube. In 10 years, you don't know where TikTok's going to be. But I feel like YouTube in 10 years is going to be a whole movie production. You know what I mean? I feel like YouTube is not walking away anytime soon. And at the end of the day, YouTube, you're going to get more money from those long form videos if you can keep the consistency up and keep it rolling and keep bringing that TikTok audience over there naturally and organically. But it's also an investment, such a big investment. Every dollar I make from a brand deal or a YouTube video or a TikTok, anything, it goes right back into my YouTube videos. Kind of Mr. Beast, that he's a whole other person, but Jimmy, like, he'll make all this money, but every cent goes back in. Like, his videos are so crazy that, you know, he has to. He's buying, like, you know, 20 people a Tesla or something like that. But his content is so good and you want to keep watching it. So it's something like that with my videos, especially for YouTube. It's a lot of children audience, and it's a lot of it's all pretty much scripted. If it's a skit kind of video, or if it's a challenge video, it's kind of, you know, whatever. It's not scripted. But when it is, I'm renting a set. I'm having people kind of help me with characters. I'm getting actresses. I had a crazy stalker, and I had to go on casting networks and find a crazy stalker, you know, stuff like that. And it's clear. It's very clear when you're watching. You're like, it's very, you know, shock and awe. You know that it's kind of like it took a lot to put together. So it really just depends on your niche and your video idea on how much you're going to invest in the channel. Some of my friends just do vlogs and they're editing their own videos. And, you know, they're making all that money back and they don't have to put money into it. For me, I'm putting so much video. I'm not editing or any of that. So it's kind of like, but, you know, it all pays off.
In the long run, that's
I love the content I do. And it's just so much fun. I love creating. I love all the little things that go into it.
Well, you're skilling yourself as well, where you're hiring people to collaborate with you and help you save time in areas like editing. And so I think in the long run, you know, where you're taking this, that those are the smart things to figure out now.
Yes,
you know, you end up being much more successful when you can figure out how to keep yourself inspired and inspire others to help scale you. And
yeah, exactly. So yes,
seems like that's something that you're doing. So if I'm understanding everything from a rev share perspective from the platforms, you're making probably more from YouTube than you are from TikTok. But when it comes to brand deals, you're probably making the most from TikTok. Is that correct?
Yes. I think I've only done like 2 brand deals on YouTube. But when I did those 2 brand deals on YouTube, they were pretty good. So I want more brand deals on YouTube for sure. But yeah, I think consistently YouTube has it because, you know, if you can get those consistent numbers, then you know that's how much you're going to make that month. And TikTok, since it's so sporadic, you never know, and especially with the brand deals. I don't know when I'm going to get another brand deal. You know, it's kind of like that. But with YouTube, I can look at my analytics and be like, okay, if I keep doing this and I keep following what this analytics says and blah, 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 I can kind of put it into place and be like, okay, you know, it's going to keep working the next months if I just keep strategizing exactly how I've been doing it.
YouTube's much more consistent and easier to model for you.
Oh, yeah. You're
giving us so many like nuggets of information.
Yeah, sorry, this is all like sporadic, by the way. Like, it's not organized. That's just how my brain is.
No, it's very helpful. Thank you so much for doing that. You know, with TubeBuddy, we help over 13 million different creators to try to be data-driven in growing their audience and optimizing their video content. Many of these creators are smaller, just getting started creators or micro creators, that, you know, is another term that people use. What advice would you give these up and coming creators to just keep going?
I would definitely say, everyone says that consistency is key, but I would drill that so hard and to almost get obsessed with what you're doing. Just like how you're obsessed with the TV show. If you're obsessed with TikTok and YouTube and everything around it, all of it, you won't fail. You can't. If you're so obsessed with it, where you're going to wake up in the morning, literally plan a to-do list, strategically be like, okay, I'm going to film this. It's going to be about this. And then after that, I'm going to, whatever, look at my followers, see who they like to follow, and then da-da-da-da. You can't. So if you just put all of your 1,000% into it and consistently do it, I have mornings where I wake up and I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm going to sleep all day. But I'm like, no, I want to keep doing this. Like, this is the dream. Like, I'm going to keep doing it. So, yeah.
So be consistent, be obsessed.
Be obsessed and consistency.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. And Where do you want to be in 3 years or 5 years from now?
So I want to have hopefully like 6 YouTube channels. And I want to have a gaming channel. I love gaming. So I want to have a gaming channel. I love reacting to crazy videos. So reacting channel. I kind of want to, I don't know. I have a lot of plans. I have a lot of like intrusive ideas and stuff like that. But I would definitely just say having my YouTube going really good. And just pushing content out left and right.
So how has YouTube gained so much of your loyalty? Obviously, you're getting paid by YouTube, but did you have any YouTube creators that inspired you to eventually want to go to YouTube and grow your audiences there?
Yeah, so I would watch YouTube, but I wasn't a big watcher on YouTube. So I wasn't really the viewer. And even when I was watching YouTube and I wasn't doing TikTok or YouTube, I've always just kind of been obsessed with like the business side of it, to be honest. Like before I was doing TikTok or YouTube, I would watch like Trisha Paytas or Jake Paul and stuff like that. And I would look at their comments and be like, oh my gosh, like everyone's fighting about this. And I would get so into kind of their videos, like their style or... So I've kind of always been obsessed. Yeah. I've always been obsessed with kind of the background. Yeah. The drama and all of that. So yeah, I was just always into it.
So you didn't watch a lot of it, but you knew that there was a lot of trends happening as a result of it, and you kept on top of those trends.
Exactly, yes. And I would kind of jump through YouTubers almost. And I wish I had someone where I could be like, he did it, I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? But I really don't. I think the people that really inspired me would be the Paul brothers, just because they did that so quickly and they changed the game of vlogging and all of that. But I think I just looked at everyone and I was like, I want to do what they're doing, but somehow do it in my way. So
that's amazing. That's awesome. And so, there's two questions, from what you said earlier. You mentioned you want to do a gaming channel. What type of gaming do you like? And then what type of gaming do you think you'd be successful with?
So I think to answer both of those, I think it would be a lot of trying the new games. So I personally love Minecraft and I played Roblox. I don't know if you know what that is, but
yes, of course.
I played Roblox. I still play Roblox. Okay, it is a guilty pleasure. I will say it. I still play Roblox. I'm 20. But
biggest regret of my life is that one of the co-founders of Roblox and the top executives hit me up to try to help them grow their platform. And
oh my God,
I believe they offered me stocks, like a percentage, and I was like, no, I want cash. My life. Yeah.
No, Roblox is like a dream brand. Like if Roblox, if you're listening, like I love you so much. Yeah, no, that's crazy. Yeah, well, everything happens for a reason.
Would you see yourself wanting to do like Roblox and Minecraft and show new servers or?
So I think what I'll be doing, those are the games I like doing. I think what I will be doing is trying out new games. I don't know if you've seen some, there are a lot of YouTubers, well, each video is not them playing a game they know. They'll be like, oh, this is a new game. This horror game came out. And you're almost reacting. So you're giving a 2-in-1 in the video. You're playing the game for the first time, and it's also your first time playing it. So you're giving all the reactions of, oh my gosh, what just happened? Oh my gosh. So I think that could be really fun for me.
I think it's a very smart strategy. I mean, there's loads and loads of creator gamers that got successful by playing new games. Like I think Ninja was one of the first ones to do Fortnite, and look what happened to his career.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, look at what happened to like PewDiePie when he started playing Minecraft again. And a big part of PewDiePie's strategy was playing new games. And so, I think that's actually really smart, is like finding new games and then figuring out which ones stick. And would you continue to play the same game if it ends up being very successful?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll be like, you guys want a part 2? I'll give it. Yeah, for sure. I just think I guess everyone would love, like, I don't even know. I'm not a huge gamer, so I don't know from a gamer's perspective is like, I like Minecraft. I'm only going to watch Minecraft gaming. But I think there's so many gamers playing like, all these same games, which is epic if, that's what the viewers want. But I feel like it would be a really cool barrier to break to just do new games. Mm-hmm. And then, I could, if they like this game, I could play it again or something like that. But that's kind of just been my little idea.
That's
I know
great.
A lot of creators already do it, and it's sick.
Well, so you mentioned launching like 6 different, YouTube channels, and it sounds like, you're, collaborating and hiring people in a way where you're going to be able to do that. What type of products do you plan on launching your own products in the future? And then what type of products would you want to work with?
If I could, oh my gosh, I would love to. Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, I would love to have like, I don't want to say almost kind of like the JoJo Siwa type of product. I mean, she has everything. She has toilet paper, underwear, you name it. I'm sure she's got it, something for everyone. But I definitely kind of want to, what I call my subscribers, Colie's Club. So at one point I want to have a membership of, let's say, Colie's favorite clothing, you know what I mean? You have to be a part of the membership to see that, or the part 2 of this prank video that's not on, where you can just watch on the YouTube. You have to be a membership. So, and it's something, and Colie's Club's also going to be a little network where I'm going to talk to everyone, and it's going to be one-on-one. I want it to be like a club, a really fun, something like that. So definitely that. I kind of almost want to have a book series, which I know books aren't a whole thing right now, but at one point I want to do a little Colie's Club book series. But that's all I kind of have right now. Like, but I would love to do that. Like, oh, that'd be sick to have a shirt and it says Colie's Club. I definitely want to have a merch line at one point, but I want it to be something for everyone. If I want to have all these YouTube channels, I'm already getting all these different audiences. So it has to kind of combine naturally to fit, everyone. Yeah, for everyone to like it, not just, the 8-year-olds on my YouTube. Also, the 20-year-olds on my Instagram, stuff like that. I wanted to kind of all come together. But yeah, that's something I definitely need to think about more. That's sick.
No, that's amazing. I mean, when do you hope to be able to start like doing product development and launching your own brands? I mean, is there a number you're waiting for, to...
So I think I'm just waiting for, which I'm definitely going to, but I'm waiting for the sweet spot, because I know a lot of companies have come to me and be like, let's make merch, let's do this. Maybe you should have a clothing brand, but I need to wait. I always say this, there's a sweet spot, and it's kind of where Charli D'Amelio started to blow up. That was her sweet spot. Or just different creators. You can kind of tell, when the word gets around, you see them more on your For You page or your search bar. So I think when my YouTube starts hitting that consistent area of up in the high 100,000s views, that's when I'm going to start to do that. Right now, if I do it, it's not really just going to make sense. It's not going to be the best turnaround. So I just want to make sure it's at the perfect time. So it's probably, I'm saying it now, it's going to be probably next year. Sounds like a good area, good goal. So I just got to grind it out this year.
Well, I respect that you're maintaining your focus. But I guess a question I have is, I mean, you have a huge audience on TikTok, and you're not monetizing there as much as you'd want, other than, brand deals. I mean, do you think, are you waiting mainly on YouTube because it's going to help you model how successful you're going to be able to be at driving sales? Or do you think there's any low-hanging fruits to monetize your TikTok audience?
I think I can do TikTok too. Yeah, TikTok it's kind of weird. My TikTok audience doesn't even follow my YouTube. So when I was saying that before, being like,
so they're completely different audiences then. So your YouTube audience is different, like completely from your TikTok audience.
Oh yeah. My YouTube audience is mostly 13 and younger. Like 6-year-olds, 7, 10, 12. My TikTok is a lot of teenagers. We have there's some middle schoolers, but it's mostly the teenage group. So it's a whole other content area. I'm still trying to learn how to get, kind of make my YouTube kind of for everyone with that channel, or if I just have to make another channel and that one's going to be for everyone. So that's a whole other thing I'm working on. But yes, for TikTok, I think I really want to start some cool merch that's not really like Colie's Club, but
Yeah.
obviously there's something around that where it's Colie's Club and it's actually something, teenagers would want to wear. Or
Mm.
I think I want to do the membership on that too. I think that would be really cool to have it on that, because I like to say that I talk to the audience a lot on TikTok, a lot more than YouTube. And I like to go live a lot and stuff like that. So I think I could do some cool things over there. TikTok is just like, it's such an open world where you can really do anything. Like there's so much you can
Yeah.
do over there. It's sick.
No, that's awesome. I was just noticing there's a couple of gamers I was looking at today, and I was wondering, where is their biggest audience right now outside of YouTube? And these were gamers. And I saw that one specifically had a very small audience on Instagram, but a very thriving audience doing gameplay on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever thought of, also creating other TikTok channels or testing gaming with your current audience?
No, that hit different for me because my Instagram, which I haven't talked about, my Instagram needs work. I'll say this myself. My Instagram needs work. I have 8 million on TikTok, almost 2 million on YouTube. My Instagram only has 105,000 followers. So you can see, like, I like to say, I tell my TikTok audience, I made a video, I was like, you guys are so fake for this. Like, you'll follow me here, but not here. So the Instagram is also like a whole other game. Not my strongest suit, will be soon. But yeah, that's very interesting to think about how his gaming channel on TikTok is huge and his Instagram one is, a little bit smaller. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I might make another TikTok maybe for gaming too. Maybe I should make more TikTok accounts for different niches. That's a smart idea.
It's interesting, because it's still the wild, wild west. I mean, I've been in this business for almost over 15 years, almost 20 years. I'm OG. I used to collaborate with MySpace creators back in the day and early Facebook. But it's just so interesting to just see every year there's a different dynamic and there's a different trend. There's always a bubble that pops. Yes. And so it really takes a different type of personality that can evolve and change. And it seems like you're doing a really amazing job at that. I mean, the fact that you've only been doing this for a couple of years and you have, collectively over 10 million, followers, that's crazy. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it was hard. A lot of creators will be like, it was luck or something. I'm like, I wish it was not luck for me at all. Like, I've fallen off, I've gone up, I've fallen off, I've gone up. Like, I think other than consistency, you have to be able to reinvent yourself. So I've had so many times on my TikTok, I've done a couple controversial things. And there's been a couple times where it's a reinvent. You know what I mean? There was a time where this was super crazy because this is when my TikTok, I think, was at a really peak for a second. And it really jump-started my TikTok from 1 million to, I think, 4 million. I would dance all the time and get people's reactions, no more dancing. But I would pull up my, bathing suit bottoms or my underwear strings just a little bit. And that's a fashion trend now. But for some reason it would get the audience to be like, oh, that's so annoying. Like, what is she doing? Like, that's not cute. And they would fight about that forever. And my whole comment section would be debates. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Like, why is she doing that? She shouldn't do that. No, maybe she should. It's cute. It was.
So controversy encourages engagement.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and at one point I was pretty hated. Like, I still am. There's a lot of videos of me that will come up on my For You page. This was a little bit ago when there was a trend that was like, who do you hate the most on TikTok creator wise? And it was all these huge creators who are businessly and like doing very good. Like, they're very successful, but everyone was tearing them down. But I was like, hate is so good. Hate is so good. I always say this. If you have love and hate, you're chilling. Like that, like people didn't like Kim Kardashian, you know what I mean, in the beginning. And she was, you know, I guess a lot on her reality show. Look at her now. You know, there's so many people that it's like a love-hate relationship. And I think that's also something that makes it more personal is, you know, I hate when she does this, but I love when she does this. So there was a second where my comments were purely just hate comments, but that's when my following jumped so quickly.
Wow. Okay, so
like, who's gonna have thick skin?
So I'm going to summarize this. Maybe I'm going to do that little loop thing that you mentioned, mini video in the short. But so be obsessed, consistency, reinvent yourself or pivot, and then controversy.
Yeah, controversy. Yeah. Yeah, I've had conversations with my friends where they're like, I need to do something controversial, but obviously don't hurt anyone. Don't do anything too crazy. But what's something that's going to get the audience talking? You know, what's something that's going to... And if you ever find your videos kind of going down, let's start a little drama. But not bad saying go fight with your friends, but I'm saying like, what could we do that could kind of get the audience talking again? So that's
have you heard of the game theorists, Matthew Patrick or Matt Pat and Stephanie Patrick? They do the game theorists YouTube channel, and they also do film theorists and several others. They have tens of millions of followers across the board. And they came out with a video talking about how strategic, you know, the Logan Paul, Jake Paul, KSI drama was.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Communities against each other.
Yes, yes. No, that was so strategically planned. Those boys, so smart for that. So smart for that. I remember when that was going on, I was like, should I believe this? But even me, I was like, this is really planned well. Like, this was very good. They knew exactly what they're doing. Like, and there was a lot of things like that. Like when the Hype House was kind of around, they did a lot of things like that. I remember, I think it was Josh Richards and someone else. They made a music video about, I'm not going to talk about it because it's definitely like not PG, but they just made a bunch of funny music videos and just things that TikTok would post about or other people would post about, and it would start controversial. And I saw their channels like blow up and stuff like that. And there's just a lot of little things that I feel like creators could be doing that would just bring it to the next level. And I think that is kind of where it's like, yeah, TikTok is obviously not like A-list fame, you know what I mean? But if you kind of treat it like that, you can find your content really emulating and doing better. Because just kind of think about that, the Kim Kardashian thing, like she does all these little things that are very strategically planned, but oh my gosh, it makes her numbers bigger and stuff like that. It makes people talking about her. Same with the, Logan Paul stuff, that if TikTokers kind of took it that much seriously and kind of planned, like, if I say this, it could start, you know what I mean?
I love how you're observing different creators and celebrities.
I always do this.
And you share how you bridge that to an application. I mean, applying those tactics to what you're doing. I mean, that is so transparent. I really appreciate that.
I'm going to tell the truth, like, because if I knew this sooner, it would have been so good. And it's just
knew what exactly?
I personally think if I knew to strategically plan certain things in videos, like I'll make a dance video and the door will be open and there will be like, I'll have my friend kind of pop out in a mask and then pop back out. You know what I mean? That was planned. If I knew that earlier, my channels could have been way bigger, stuff like that. So I think it's just strategically placing little things in videos that automatically are going to catch the audience. But it's not just what the video is. So my video might be dancing, but it's what's going on behind the dancing. My video might be talking to Ricky Ray about this, but all of a sudden we're talking about Kim Kardashian's like fake butt, stuff like that. So it's just little things that pop in that I think the audience can take a mental note of. And it's even better if they already knew it. So if I have tons of video, like maybe 3 videos before the TikTok of me doing a dance, and the clown pops out of it happening, they'll be like, oh my God, it might happen again in her next TikTok. And then they're going to want to go on my TikTok and, you know, kind of look through it. That's kind of what I've kind of put together.
Wow. No, there's a lot of gems there. Because a lot of times you hear about people looking in their comments and just being overwhelmed with all the toxicity and like the negative feedback. But it seems like, and again, and you'll have to maybe share like to what level you can handle this, but like it seems like you go in there and you look at it as like a data gathering observer and then also like learn from other, followers, from other creators and what they're doing, and you kind of like create your own little model on how to grow as a result of that.
Exactly. Yeah. I think with the hate in the comments, so for me, I already deal with a lot of mental illnesses, and I grew up really bad anxiety and depression. And so in the beginning, when I first started getting hate, I didn't want it. I was mad. I was super not in a good headspace. And then after a while, I was like, am I going to look at these people I don't know tearing me down? Am I going to look at it like that and be like, oh my God, I hate this, which I was doing for a very long time? Or I'm going to get thick skin and use it kind of as my own source of, maybe I can navigate around this and I can use that, into my analytics, like use as data. And, what do they like? What do they not like? What are they kind of mad about? What can I dig deeper and kind of search what I need to film, what is going to do good, stuff like that. And I was like, let's do that. Because at the end of the day, that's going to give you a lot more than, just being upset about the hate. And yeah, I think there is a lot of hate that creators get that they should, it's always valid to be upset about it. But it's kind of more, how are you going to react to the hate? It's not in the moment. It's what's your next step after you get that hate comment? How are you going to use it?
No, that's very helpful. And so you mentioned early on you were getting bullied as a result of your channels. Yes. How did you overcome that?
So in the beginning, everyone was posting, like it was cool to do makeup and hair and stuff, but I was over here posting like crazy prank videos of my arm getting chopped off, or me crying in a POV about POV, I'm Marilyn Monroe, like just I was posting, as people would say, cringy stuff, very cringe. It's cringeworthy, but it's also likable. It's also something you want to rewatch. And I think when I was getting hate, I was not handling it right. I was not thinking about it how I'm thinking about it now and using it kind of as like data. I was thinking about it as, oh my gosh, I need to change everything. They hate this. And I think the thing that kind of switched in my brain was when I was like, I've been so upset about this. I've been in my bed all day about these comments. It's not going to do anything. So it was really just how I'm reacting to it. And at one point I was just like, you know what? I can't react like this anymore. I'm just going to use it and let it help me and like kind of build my character and my personality and the social media world and stuff like that. And that was probably the best decision I ever made, because now hate used to really bug me and it would kind of affect my content and how I would film. And now I kind of use it. You know what I mean? Now I look at it and I'm like, okay, we can work with this. How can I change their mind on something? Or maybe I can talk about this hate comment. Now I'm making videos being like, hey, what's up with this video, this hate comment. And for a second, I was getting really good views for replying to hate comments. I made that like kind of a whole series being like, oh my gosh, I got this hate comment. Like, what do you mean that you don't like my shorts? Something like that. And then I would just dig deeper into it.
Wow.
So yeah, I think
leveraging hate
and
data, that's brilliant. And to be able to do that, I can't imagine how complicated that is. No, thank you so much. And I know as we wrap up, I have two more questions. Number one, with your creator friends, you talk about the analytics on YouTube, the advanced analytics. What are some specific numbers that you look at that make a huge difference?
Yeah, so when I look at analytics, I'm always looking at the view duration rate. I'm looking at the click-through rate, all that. But I find my sweet spot is obviously the days of posting. Like if you're a creator and you want to get into your analytics, the first thing would be the days that of posting. Where is the best day of posting? What are the top cities that are watching you, let's post during their time zone. The weekends are the sweet spot. And then I'm also looking at, let's say this video didn't do good. It looks like everyone dropped off at like 2 minutes and 14 seconds. I will go into analytics and I will strategically like watch that part and be like, now, why didn't they like that? Why didn't they like that? And for me, the issue is usually I'm talking too much right there. They want me to get to the action, you know? And that's usually my issue. I talk too much in my videos. So then I will go there and be like, I'll make a note, I'll write it in a notepad or be like, okay, so for the next YouTube video, I got to make sure during around this time, I can't talk too much or I have to, you know, start doing something different, keep it going before they click off. So I would say the most helpful part is looking at, you know, in the analytics where they kind of jump off on the video. And I like to go deeper into the advanced mode, and I will go into kind of my stalking mode and we'll look exactly like, who are they watching? You know, at what time did they watch this YouTube video? Maybe that's a good time for me to post. Just a lot of things like that really help.
No, that's very helpful. Thanks so much. So last question, what drives you? What inspires you to keep doing what you're doing?
In the beginning, it was like, I want to do this. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Now I can say that after 2 years and having failures in social media, you know, dropping, popping off, doing really good, doing really bad, views being terrible, views doing good. I feel like now I can see exactly how it works, how to put it all, you know, all the puzzle pieces together, where it's kind of, my failure is what's inspiring me. You know, the times where I'm like, the views aren't good. If the views aren't good that week, that's usually the time I'm the most fired. I'm like, okay, the views are not doing good. How am I going to make this better? So I almost like to say, like, whenever my lows are happening, I got to right away in that second, make it my high, you know, switch it right away and figure out how am I going to fix this so we can fix this right away and not be in, you know, that stuck in there forever.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
if that makes sense.
Fast, it makes so much sense. Failing fast is so important, whether you're doing pivots or like with AI, as we create like a machine learning algorithm, you know, we want to see the failures and the wins both you know, equally, because it helps us reiterate on how to be much more accurate or effective, you know, you know, the longer that we train, you know, that model. And so failing fast, you know, and being able to turn lemons into lemonade from you know, data points like comments, et cetera. You know, that's very, I mean, it's very obvious why you're so successful, Colie. So Colie, thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're an inspiration, and we're going to have some other conversations, and I want to get some of your feedback on the tech, because we're trying to do exactly what you as a human are doing, but doing it at scale. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. That was a blast.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Please like this video, please subscribe, and we'll see you later.